sir.
What is going on, man?
Oh, nothing. I'm just trying to warm up in the springtime.
Out enjoying the snow.
Such wonderful winter this spring. Oh, man. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of The Commute.
Where I will be your driver.
And I will be the passenger. So, today, poor video games.
Yeah?
Video games always getting a bad rap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anything from eye strain, headaches, obesity,
Mass murderers.
Sure. Well, there's a new one that they're getting in trouble for, and that would be racism. Video games
game racism.
make you racist.
Oh, okay.
They did a study, an Ohio State professor did a study, and in it he claims that if you're a white gamer and you use a black avatar, you tend to hold aggressive views and behavior towards blacks. And his thought behind the whole thing is that you're controlling a black person, you're doing violent acts, so now you believe in your mind that black people are more violent. Now, thankfully, there's people out there, you know, saying,
okay, well,
no.
What about all the white avatars in games?
That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't.
Does that make someone who's
I'm
black
thinking he has some kind of other agenda that he's trying to get through, because he's not even saying, like, they didn't test black people using white avatars.
Right.
You know?
Well, and what about all the millions of people that played Grand Theft Auto, what was it? Grand Theft Auto
4?
No, San Andreas.
Okay.
I mean, the primary character in San Andreas was a black protagonist. I mean, that was the hook of the game. I mean, it was following that particular, end of the story, or
Well, even in the new one, in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's three main characters,
right,
and two of them are white. One of them was black, but two of them are white. And it's just, I don't know. He was saying that, so other people are fighting it.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean,
and he's saying that he wants to see, and this is his take on it, I guess he doesn't seem like a racist, is that he's bringing this up because he wants video games to create black characters who are more like doctors and who save lives. But has he played a video game lately? What video game are you a doctor saving a life?
See, I've never understood that about that. Every time like video games come up, like in the news or anywhere, I don't know what people have in their minds of like what video games look like now. But it's like people are stuck like with Pong or like Outlaw from the Atari, like stuck in their heads. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't even understand how to respond to that, because there's plenty of games where you pick who you want to be at the beginning of the game.
And if you truly are racist, you're not going to pick, the black guy. If you're a white guy, you can pick a black guy, and vice versa.
I don't understand what grounds he has to even say to make his initial statement. Like,
and they're saying they ran two tests. They didn't say what game they tested, but they did two tests, and one of them was, they took 100 and some people, and they split up, you're going to be a black person, you're going to be a white person. You knew who you were ahead of time. And in that group, he had them all do some kind of violent mission. Go kidnap this person and kill this person. Then he took another group of 100 and some people, split them up white and black, and had them do something non-violent, like get to the church without hurting anybody. And he's saying that in that group, after asking questions afterwards, the group that had to do something violent, it strengthened their attitude toward that blacks are violent. Like, even if they didn't have that view ahead of time, because they played that one mission in a game, it's almost like these people have it's like asking people that have no view of what the real world is.
Well, there's so much wrong with that.
Off
the bat, I mean, sample size too small. Fucking, what was the basis for that game? What were the violent acts? Were the violent acts the same? Was it just the game was violent?
Mm-hmm.
Could
one person be more violent than another? Did you truly control all that?
Right. Were those controlled environments?
And not just that, but it's total bullshit. No game is going to make you think one person is more violent than another. And not just that, but in most games anymore, there's a group of people being violent, and there might be one black person.
And what makes that particular media unique above something else? I mean, why
a movie?
Why wouldn't a movie make me more, racist over that?
Right.
I saw American History X. That sent me off the deep end. What the fuck?
He's just
it's just absurd.
And this guy works for a college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a guy teaching people.
He got fucking grants to study that shit.
Right, yeah, he got richer off of it. I mean, dude, honestly, to come up with such bullshit research, you didn't even have to do research. You could just make that shit up. People have made up
a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah.
For as far as research goes. Man, that's...
Oh, yeah, just see that's something we should do for the show tomorrow. Things people get grants for.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There was actually this grant I remember once, and I forget how much money they got, but it was so that they could test the speed of different types of ketchup, how fast it comes out of the bottle.
Yeah. All right. If anybody wants anything to complain about like the scientific community, there's some shit to complain about. There you go.
You complain about that.
Let's not complain about like the scientific method or how it solves any kind of real world situational problems or gives us trains, transportation, any kind of technology we've ever had. Let's not complain about that. Let's complain about grants given to catch up speed. That's
think
a problem.
If you took that money and put it towards trains, transportation, how much better that would be.
Something else.
Medical, science, just anything. I'm going to work on that one. We'll do a story on that.
There must be something to it. There must be something to it where they've got to keep the stipulations of getting a grant lax enough so you can study things outside the box. You know what I mean? Without, because you can't put that much limitation on it because who knows what might come out of it.
Yeah, but still. But not just that, but just the money they put towards it.
Right. Yeah.
You want to do that research? Fine.
Right. Here's
There's no need to make it a $50,000 project. Give me $100. I'll have the speeds for you by the end of the hour. I'll run to the store, pick up some ketchup, pick up 5 different brands. Don't know how I'll calculate the speed of it. I'm just going to go slower, slowest. That's really all you need to know.
I guess you have a funnel, and you test the viscosity of it coming down.
But why? I'm looking for a ketchup, I'm going to go to the store. I'm looking for a ketchup that comes out at a speed of, a quarter mile per day. Anything slower and I just have a problem. My hot dog gets cold too quick before the ketchup hits it.
The people not stand for this.
It soaks into my bun. I just hate it. It just gets to me. So, this day in history.
Yeah, there's a couple things on there.
March 25th, 1970. The Concorde made its first supersonic flight.
Yeah.
Excellent. Didn't realize that was that old.
Yeah. Huh. That's a weird thing, the Concorde. It never seemed like... It always seemed like the cutting edge of technology. Like, no matter when I thought of it or, read about it or something, it always seemed like it came out like that year, It was always the fastest commercial thing that there was,
And it's been that long, it was always the fastest.
There's nothing that went at a supersonic speed that was commercial.
1954, RCA manufactures the first color TV.
Yep.
12.5-inch TV cost $1,000. In 1954, it cost $1,000.
Yep. For a 12-inch television.
Wow. Wow. That's ridiculous. These days, you pay $50 for that.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy. $1,000. I wonder what else cost $1,000 in 1954.
A car?
And
yeah, something blew up.
Oh man, yeah, something got poor shit. I'm trying to think of $1,000. I mean, and the color wasn't even great. It was you ever see those screens people would put over their black and white TV to make them color? It was just like
would it make it like a sepia tone or something?
No, it was like cellophane screen, and it had like 3 bars, like red, yellow, and blue. So like it would split the screen up into thirds, but it showed through as color. And I have a color TV.
Right.
It was ridiculous. It was nuts. 1807. First railway passenger service began in England.
Yep.
Wow. 1807. Was it, did it say where it took them from and to?
No, and I should know that because I've been playing Sid Meier's Railroads on the PC for a while, and I should know that because it comes up like the dates and all the like railroad moguls. It like shows a big blurb about them and stuff. One of the scenarios is England, but that game is great. It takes it like makes it nice and simple. It cuts out all like the kind of nitpicky details. You're hooking up cities with rail lines, and you're actually like transporting whatever that city makes to other cities. So you got to kind of plan out what cities you want to connect together and how you want to, transport the goods back and forth. And it's pretty cool. And you can like, we can hook up over the LAN and play against each other.
Really?
And add in and it's an old game too.
How do we play against each other?
Nancy and I do.
I have to try to create the rail line first.
Yeah, we're both building at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So you're building simultaneously and
gotcha.
Competing for these cities and for cash. And
wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Let's see, what else? There's a medical student. She's 27 years old, and she is auctioning off her virginity for $400,000. Now to see this girl, it might be worth $400,000.
Really?
If I had $1 billion, you know what I mean?
Everything's relative.
Yeah, but she's smoking. It's not like she's some. She's a med student. She's smart. She's hot. She said it just happened that way. It wasn't like she was trying to stay a virgin. She said it just happened. I guess it just...
I assume that's the payoff for tuition or something. Or...
No, she said she doesn't need the money. That's the thing I'm thinking about med student. Right, first thing you're thinking she's going to have bills. She's 27. She's getting ready probably to get out and pay these bills off. But no, she said she does not need the money. She is putting 35% of the total. It starts at $400,000, and it's an auction. 35% of the final bid will go to a charity to benefit the education of women in developing countries. So she's doing it for a good cause. Yeah, I guess. 35% of that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Talking, well over $100,000 if it stops at $400,000. And I'm thinking it could go for a lot. You got a lot of these tycoons with money, and
I guess
they could get into a pretty decent bidding war.
I would think one of those one of the porn directors or something. They just go in there with a lot of cash.
Yeah, hey.
Then they make 10 times that off of
And it's legit that way. They probably make a lot of money. People in the past have tried to do this on eBay, and they get shut down. It's against the law. You're not allowed to do it in America.
No, it's...
So she had got an Australian agent to take care of this for her so that she's not breaking any U.S. prostitution laws. And this is not the first time this has happened. Others have done it in the past.
So that kind of prostitution is illegal in Australia?
I guess, or at least auctioning, or if it didn't go into whether or not there was a subcategory, if you're doing it for charity or prostitution is legal.
It could be. I don't know if prostitution is legal.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's illegal somewhere.
I always thought they were pretty tight with their decency laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, so did I.
Because we talked about the video game thing before there. How
you can't even you have to tone down video games.
It's even more clamped down than here.
Well, maybe they do that for the kids.
But after 18,
after 18, buy a hooker.
Yeah.
Play a violent video game if you want to.
Right. It's all yours.
On a place where I guess in America they're sort of making prostitution legal. In Hawaii, undercover police are allowed to have sex with prostitutes because they say that it helps them maintain their undercover, and it helps them get further in, I guess, whatever case they're going after. But they're trying to pass a law right now, pretty much, and it'll pass, saying like, all right, that's got to stop. No more prostitution. We can't let the cops do this. We make it illegal for a reason, and then we go ahead and let our cops do it.
Yeah, it's
where you could take a hooker to a room if you were undercover, and just I guess let her know, or even back out. Be like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. Here's your money. Have a good day. And you could give the impression that I guess you have the prostitute. Well, the cops are up in arms that they're trying to stop this law. The cops say that
how dare you jeopardize my
like you don't understand, man. We're the best undercover cops in the world because of this. And I guarantee they just all day, man,
get out my street cred again.
Yeah, it was for the case. Here's my vouchers. I need reimbursement.
Yeah. I need blowjob reimbursement.
I couldn't believe that that's a law in America.
Yeah. Wow, that's...
Even though it's Hawaii, let's face it, it's not America. It's...
Yeah, that's
so
that's
far
another
off.
Outlier. That's always kind of weird. It was run by like that kingdom for the longest time, and like the royal palace, and I think mainly the people that still own property there are like the original Hawaiians. Like it gets passed down through generations and generations. Like
I would love to go there though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
To me, it seems like one of those places that once you go, you just don't come back from.
Yeah.
Or at least mentally, you don't come back from that place.
Yeah.
People either end up going back to stay or just always want to go back.
Yeah, to me, a place like, I guess maybe Hawaii, but I didn't even consider Hawaii that, but like one of those like South Pacific islands, Tahiti or any of those, like along that path. Like, I couldn't see myself going back from there.
Nah.
That's
why we need people to share these videos,
like and subscribe,
so we can. We'll still do the show from Tahiti.
Right. Do it live.
We can do it from a boat. The commute on the boat.
Yeah, commute between. Well, the easiest way to do that would be down in the Bahamas, and you go between the islands. Because you got a commute time there.
Brilliant. We have got to do that. Since we're talking geography, world leader kicked Russia out of the G8.
Yeah, supposedly it's just temporary.
Oh, really?
But they announced it today that they're canceling. They had a meeting set up for the G8 in Sochi that was coming up this year, and they canceled that meeting, and they've kicked Russia out.
But I saw they were now calling it the G7.
Yeah, I read a little more on that, and it's just a temporary measure. They're back in on the next one, but that's in retaliation or as a sanction to them annexing the Crimean Peninsula.
Really coming down on them. They said the punishment wouldn't be severe, but to say you're no longer part of.
That's it
really excludes them. I don't know if they care.
No, they don't.
That's what it is.
The next statement by the foreign trade minister for Russia was like, it really doesn't affect anything.
Like, who cares?
Why? Why? We don't even understand what this is.
You just saved me time.
Yeah.
It's the first time in 16 years that they have been excluded.
Yeah.
The Group of Six was formed in 1975.
Yeah. And then it became the G7 the next year when they put Canada became a member, and then.
So you got France, West Germany, Japan, Italy, UK, US, and then Canada in 76, and Russia in 98.
Yeah, and that made the G8.
I remember when that happened. I remember when it became the G8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing seems weird. You know, I just don't get the whole.
Why they need to have meetings?
Why they need to have meetings? Who it really benefits? What they get out of it? It just, I don't know. I mean, I know it's supposed to do good, but you never hear anything great coming out of it, I guess is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, they have these meetings, they make a big deal about it, and...
Well, I think it's something to do with, like, the, controlling, like, food production based on population, so they know how to, you know, tailor their laws and stuff in their countries to make sure enough food is being produced worldwide to support populations and, you know, trade between those. At least that's what they say they're doing. That's the only thing I've ever heard.
It's to make sure we're not
coming out of it.
The world isn't falling apart, I guess, essentially.
At the seams, yeah. I mean, but
is it for their own people? Is it for the entire world?
Yeah, you figure those huge countries going into it, how are they not going in with selfish intentions?
Right.
But I guess that's okay because that's a factor. That's factored in. You know that all those people are going in selfishly, therefore you can predict what they're going to do.
I guess that's why they feel, hey, if we kick you out of this group, you're no longer part of the selfishness. You don't reap the benefits.
Yeah, you don't get to make the big decisions anymore. But in the same breath, it's like, where's China? Where's Brazil? You know, where are these other big economic...
Do they not want to participate?
No, I mean, it's just an exclusive thing.
Invite only?
Yeah. You know, if you don't make the list, you don't make the list, but...
What's the password, China? We don't know. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the password is we're the second largest GDP in the world. How about that?
We own everything. How about that?
Yeah, we make all your shit. How about that?
Password is, I think you need another loan.
Yeah.
Do you have night vision on your phone?
I don't think so.
You can hold it up and you have night vision. I have an app on mine. It makes it night vision.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty crappy. And it's really grainy.
I would expect that.
You know, it's not the best, but nonetheless, if you're in the complete darkness, you'd be able to navigate. Let's put it that way. You're not going to be able to read a book by it, but yeah, it's pretty neat. Well, they're now taking that technology used in the smartphones and putting them into your contact lenses.
Oh, nice.
So you will have night vision all the time. They said it's not out yet, but it's coming soon. How soon, they didn't say.
Yeah.
But I would have to imagine it would have to be something, and I don't see how they would do this. You'd have to be able to turn it on and off. You know, unless it's just like a film that they put around it, you're going to wear them at nighttime.
No, I probably like those, like those indoor-outdoor glasses. How they fade in and out, like in
so
tints.
Daytime, something will tint it to make it not happen, and as it gets darker. But even then, you would have to know where you're going, because I can't imagine it's going to be great. And are you going to get in your car and drive with them?
It would be too awkward. Like I guarantee it's not like traditional night vision like we see.
No, it's not like in a scope.
Yeah, I mean, did they show a picture of what it looks like?
No. Well, they had a picture, but of course it was like, you know, the military guys.
It was all grainy
scopes.
too. But it would be too like jarring for it to be, you know, to go from day vision just right into that like green ass like night vision.
Yeah, you couldn't. No. Again, it would be something neat maybe if you wanted to play like, I don't know, if they're compared to the cell phone apps, I wouldn't even want to run around. Let's just say to play like night tag or something like that. Like
paintball.
You can't see everything. It's just
yeah.
Unless other people just have a better app than me for their phones. You know, I don't know.
It could be, you know, other phones that are more adapted.
It's neat. It's something neat. You know, it would be awesome to be like Riddick, you know, and just see at nighttime. But I can only imagine what they're going to cost. They didn't have anything.
Well, it'll start at some absurd amount, then it'll come down and be like just barely expensive, and then, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, 10 years from now they're going to have.
Or they'll integrate it into something else, you know, like Google Glass thing or.
Yeah. Google Glass, they listened to me, and we were just talking about them. I said, they just look stupid.
Yeah.
On their heads. Well, they got Ray-Ban and some other sunglass company to help
fancy
make it, look like cool, real glasses, instead of like you're something from Star Trek walking around.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be best if they made it look more like regular glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to look like some space age thing.
It lessens the douche value.
Yeah. Put it in just regular glasses. And then also sell, like, the Geordie LaForge fucking...
Yeah, if you want that, great.
Fucking thing. You gotta sell that shit, too.
Get it taken off your head.
You gotta have the high end.
Yeah.
Looks like an air filter around your fucking eyes.
And I'm guessing if they did that, they didn't say this, but I'm guessing it's because sales were down, or not what they expected. And that's going to be the reason why.
I don't even understand how they can expect any sales of a product like that anyway.
$1,500.
Yeah, it's not... I don't know.
Just have the internet in your face.
Yeah, I mean, especially from like Google. I mean, I would expect that from like if it was Apple Glass or something.
Mm-hmm.
I could expect $1,500 and people lined up around the block buying it, but Google, man, they gotta cut their price in half, at least.
And it might be neat if you were, say, I don't know, you're studying for, a test, and you got all your books in front of you or whatever, and let me check something out real fast. That's where it is.
Oh no, don't get me wrong, the fucking technology is awesome. If I could have that shit in the glasses that I wear now.
Oh yeah, if I could have them in this,
fucking A.
I would have
That's
it.
fine. I would have no problem.
But I
with that.
don't want this stupid thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's no point to it. I mean.
But I can only imagine if they're making them look more normal and using Ray-Ban. Anyway, they're going to jack the price up.
The price even more.
Now they're $2,000.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Pay more to look cool.
Yeah. Well, it's just.
What if it stopped people from taking them off your head, like they're having that problem, and people getting beat up for them, because you really wouldn't know if they had it.
Yeah, it's just regular, unless it's what's in your glasses.
Yeah. Check disease. My meds aren't working. They can now, what they're working on, and they're getting real close to it, it's improving the technology. They can get a 3D mugshot of you from your DNA. So if they find, a hair at a crime scene, they can put it through this process and get a decent idea of what the person looks like.
Yeah.
Now, not to where if they have facial hair or something like that, because but they'll know the shape of their head, color of the eyes, color of the hair, shape of the nose, and just be able to put something up there to help them in their search.
You can just see that on like one of those Law and Order shows or something. Like that's the big reveal, you know.
We got you now.
This was the DNA at the crime scene.
And then they can use that deep face to help find a person.
Link it up.
Off of Facebook.
That's their.
But they said they got 592 people together from all different walks of life. They found 7,000 data points for the face, and it was based on
in the DNA.
In the DNA.
Man.
They find the genes. There's certain genes that they can find. Besides, it can tell your hair color and stuff like that. But certain ones that can show the shape of the head in early development. There's also genes that they can detect that mutate in disorders such as a cleft palate. So if they take the sex and ancestry and use that to pinpoint it really lets them know, what the face might look like, what the shape of the head might look like. They take the DNA, and certain DNAs differ by a single base, which they call SNP, which can say, okay, well, we know they must have been of, say, this descent, this kind of face shape, but this one step, this SNP that we're seeing, lets us know based on other people that it was really curved more up this way, or...
Yeah, so that's pretty much what they do now for, like, DNA like Ancestry. It's
Right.
you know, they can tell where like you branched off and stopped being like an Eastern European or you know whatever section of Africa you originally came from.
Right. And if
know?
most people have a head design like this, we know you are. But then we use this SNP to even narrow it down even further. And they said they're just getting more and more people to volunteer just for them to study them and really pinpoint and make it more detailed. So I thought that was really cool.
That is pretty cool. I like that.
You know, it's again putting
scary, but you know, it's cool what they can do. I mean,
it's really going to narrow down when they're hunting for somebody.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's scary to a point, but also good to a point that maybe it'll lessen crime. People are just going to be like, look, you know what?
I get my hands dirty.
I ain't messing around anymore. You truly cannot get away with anything.
Yeah.
Anymore. And all they have to find is a skin cell, you know, and they pretty much got you. They're going to post that shot on TV everywhere. And
man, dude, just fucking reminds me of Gattaca.
Yeah.
They're like vacuuming the lab to try to find the skin cells.
Again, I'm telling you, between that and that deep face, they'll put it through the CIA base, and these are the people it can look like. Oh, these people all live in this area. It's probably not them. Take you in for questioning, or at least check your DNA.
Oh yeah, and they can pull you out of like mugshots and stuff too. I mean, I would narrow down like you wouldn't have to flip through an entire book.
Yeah.
You know, if the facial structure meets these particular things from that DNA, you can only show
just the person. All right, got it.
That's a legal battle waiting to happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but I think it's
you can't limit my client's bone structure.
That is racist. You must play video games.
Yeah. Played way too much Grand Theft Auto as CJ.
So, if you get your home broken into, it would suck. You come home, all your shit's missing.
Yeah.
But I found some stories about people that came home to worse things than that.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Airbnb? What that is? It's a site, and you can rent out your house if you want to.
Okay.
For a certain amount of time. Say you're going on vacation. You can say, well, you know what? I'll rent my house out for a week. Yeah. If people are going to be in the area, they might want to rent it from you.
Cool.
You can even trade off. You can switch. Like, hey, I'm looking to be in this area, and then anyone from there looking to be in this area.
I've heard of that for like beach houses and stuff.
Yeah, people do it with beach houses a lot. You really got to trust somebody because they're in your house. Yeah. You don't take all your shit with you. Yeah. You know? So this one guy had to go to a wedding, and he put his apartment for rent for the Airbnb. The person that rented it then posted on some website a meeting in Manhattan for the Manhattan XXX Freak Fest.
At his house?
At this guy's apartment.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy didn't know about it until he came home. But it ended up being an 18-person orgy. And all the people were large people. It was a big old... big person, 18-person orgy, all screwing in your house. They ended up having to break his furniture and throw it in the back alley because it's a small apartment, so that all the people could fit in the apartment.
Oh.
So they were that big, they just couldn't fit 18 people in this apartment. So they break all his furniture, throw it out, and then they take off. They did $87,000 in damage to this guy's apartment. Wow.
Man, that's not cool, man.
Nah, just plus cleaning fees.
Yeah.
You know, but you trust these people. I mean,
I guess, but
other than the damage they did,
it
was his place for the week. You know, it's like when you rent a hotel, you can mess up all you want. They got people to clean it.
At the other end.
Another guy was going to be going away. And he asked his neighbor to house sit for him. You know, feed the goldfish, whatever. Get the mail, just look after the place. So the neighbor's friends asked him, hey, look, do you mind if we cook meth in that house while he's gone? And the neighbor says, I don't see anything wrong with that. Here's the keys. So he gives his friends the keys to make the meth. And
That's all Breaking Bad, sure.
And they ended up getting, busted for it. But they had to redo his entire first floor because apparently meth fumes
Contaminated everything.
Get into everything. They said even down to the plumbing inside the walls.
Oh my gosh!
And
what?
it all had to be replaced. Yeah, they were cooking themselves up a lot of meth.
See, they did not show that on Breaking Bad.
See, they only show you the good parts.
Yeah, they don't show you the plumbing
redo
parts.
Your house. Another couple came home, and their neighbor had accidentally ran his car through their kitchen. Just backed it up. It almost looked like a scene where he thought he was in drive and he gunned it and just...
Yeah, like one of those insurance commercials.
Yeah, right through the house, across halfway through the house, right through the kitchen.
Jesus.
And they had to end up living in a hotel for a while because at that point there was so much damage to the house. The car is what was holding up the house.
Yeah, it was structured and stable.
Yeah. So they had this picture, man, just the sink is under the tire and all these beams were down. It was great. They had a before and after picture.
Oh, man.
So there was that, and then there was one other one. A guy came home and he gets into his apartment and everything in his apartment was gone. And by everything, pictures on the wall. They didn't take a refrigerator or anything like that, but
this wasn't part of that service thing, though. This was something else.
No, this was something else.
Okay,
Yeah, this guy had just gone away.
Okay.
And the silverware was taken out of the drawers. The food was taken out of the refrigerator. I mean, it looked like guy just didn't exist.
They packed him up.
I mean, there was nothing in the apartment that showed it was him.
Man.
Well, his landlord had hired a moving service to clear out everything for one of the tenants, and he told the guys, I want to obliterate his existence. Like, I guess the guy wasn't paying the rent, and it was, it's apartment D. Well, this is why it's good to know your alphabet, because the movers thought apartment B was the D, and they cleaned out the wrong guy's shit. They just cleaned him out. It was oops, wrong apartment. But they were able to get in. I mean,
yeah.
Something tells me the landlord screwed up a little bit too. Gave him the wrong key. Maybe they said, oh, it's not D. Maybe it was B. Let's try. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look, we got in.
Got it, no problem.
Let's obliterate this guy's existence.
Jesus. So then they went into B, and then they got all that guy's stuff and replaced his life.
They didn't say if he got all his shit back. I don't know if they auction it off or what, What do they do? Because usually when you owe money, that's what they do. They auction everything off. But, the story had stopped there.
I saw this thing today, too. This girl, she came home and she found, I don't know if she was replacing a battery or something in her smoke detector, but she found a hidden camera in her smoke detector, so she calls the cops. The cops came in and they found 11 total cameras just around her house.
Jesus.
And she thought it was didn't know exactly who it was, but she thinks it was the guy that
it's gonna be the landlord,
property.
right?
Yeah, because he came in and did some repairs or something on the place, and I don't know. There was no follow up to that, but
can you imagine? I mean,
yeah,
your whole life.
Yeah, who knows how long that's been there?
And they have to be able to track it down.
Yeah, something
where the feed is going.
Yeah, it can't be going far because it's got to go to some recording source, and then somebody's got to at least pick it up.
Well, I'd say it's a good time to call the phone booth in the desert.
Phone booth in the desert.
Let us see.
My guess is a no-go.
You're guessing no-go, huh?
I'm the eternal pessimist.
The number you have dialed has been changed to a conference. You are the only party in this conference.
Only
Audible Inc. presents Exploding the Phone. The untold story of the teenagers and outlaws who hacked Ma Bell. Written by Phil Lapsley.
What?
Narrated by Johan North.
I guess this is the story of the...
Dedication. To the men and women of the Bell system, and especially to the members of the technical staff of Bell Laboratories, without whom none of this would have been possible.
None of this is possible.
Phone freak. Noun. 1. A person who is obsessively interested in learning about, exploring exploring or playing with the telephone network. 2. A person who is interested in making free telephone calls.
That's us.
Forward by Steve Wozniak,
Obsessed.
co-founder, Apple Computer.
This guy's, you gotta tell a better story than that, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
One day I'll have to sit down and listen to all that.
Listen to his free audiobook.
Oh, man. So, let's see, what else? Enough of that guy. Blah, 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 blah. Long pause. Blah, 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 blah. There is a DC abortion foundation.
Later note.
I'll tell the story like that guy. There's a DC abortion foundation, and for $10 a month, you just subscribe, I guess, to help them out and give them $10 a month. They will send you on a chain a coat hanger pendant. Something wrong with that?
That sounds in poor taste.
And what they are is this foundation is someone who helps women who can't pay for abortion, who want or need an abortion,
Right.
and they can't pay for it. They fund it and allow them to get it. But to have a coat hanger as your symbol,
That's their emblem. Is
like your other option is this.
yeah, don't go for this. Go for us.
And they said they use it. They're getting a little flack for it. They said they use it as a reminder of if they didn't exist, what I guess the other option is. But do you need to put it out there like that? Like, why don't you just make it a pendant with a picture of a torn up fetus from a coat hanger? Maybe have it hanging in the closet with a little baby part hanging off it or something.
Mallet or something.
But they said they're not changing it, so for $10 a month.
Well, if it gets response, right?
I guess that's what it is. If anything, it gets them in the news for a little while, and then maybe once the news dies down, they'll change it.
No publicity is bad publicity.
They could change it to like a motorcycle on a bumpy road or something. I don't know.
A mattress going down steps.
Found a new food that we need to try.
Besides kimchi?
To try. Besides kimchi.
We still have to do kimchi, man.
Now, this is supposed to taste good.
Okay.
So, we'll do a kimchi day, and then we'll maybe what we'll do is we'll do a side episode where we just try all this different stuff.
Yeah, we'll collect all the things we're talking about. So we've got kimchi, we've got that those chewable things that change the stuff from sour to sweet.
Yeah.
And what's this new one?
Oh, we also got celebrity meat.
Celebrity. I'm not trying celebrity meat, dude.
Larry, you're gonna try something that tastes like vomit.
I am not. I would rather taste something that tastes like vomit than something that tastes like Diddy. No offense to Diddy.
Come on, man. You don't want to try celebrity meat, huh?
No, I'm not.
What if I tricked you?
Yeah. We've secretly placed his regular burger. That would be funny. See, that would make the video. You gotta have like a barbecue.
Yes.
Filming it off to the side.
This is Larry's steak. Tastes so much like Diddy. No, anyway, what the new thing we'll add to the list is there's a company called Salt and Straw who makes ice cream, and they're based out of Oregon. And you need fat. You need some kind of fat to make all ice cream.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the fat that they use is bone marrow.
Okay.
To make the ice cream, and a lot of people are like poo-pooing it or whatever. The company is so small that they actually handwrite on each pint like what the flavor is that they make. They make in very small quantities. But the one I saw was bone marrow with bourbon cherries.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And yeah, right. So use the marrow for the fat in the ice cream. They said it changes the texture a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say how it changes it, whether it's softer, harder.
Probably softer, I would think. I mean,
that's what I'm guessing.
Because bone marrow in general, like if you ever get bone marrow, it's like it's almost like
gelatinous, right? Yeah. And when they were digging into it, I mean, the guy just scooped out of it. It wasn't like digging. Of course, I don't know how long it was
So
sitting
more
out
like
for.
more like a custard than like a.
Yeah, it almost seemed like
Okay.
that. It almost seemed like that. But they said it doesn't change the flavor at all, and they said it actually gives it a more mild flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So like whatever your flavor would be, it's not like like super sweet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I'm hearing a more mild taste with the bourbon cherries.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got, and you can order it online. They'll send it to you.
Yeah, we gotta set that up.
So we
man,
got to do some of that. We'll grab some kimchi,
That sounds badass.
and we'll get some of those. What were they called? Miracle tablets or whatever they were.
Yeah, something like that. Miracle chews or fruits or whatever the fuck it was.
Miracle fruits. But yeah, so that'd be a good sideshow. Sideshow. It just may be.
Sideshow Bob.
If we're eating Diddy, it'll be a sideshow.
That would be a complete sideshow.
I'm telling you, don't just think about that. Don't be so quick
That's
with
the problem
no.
is I'm thinking about it.
Don't be so quick with the no.
If I didn't think about it, then I could eat it. I'd be all right.
We can make it taste good. We can make anything taste good.
Well, yeah, it's not the taste of the thing. It's
the idea of it.
the idea of the thing. Although I'd be interested just in like how they use the DNA to make the meat anyway. I mean, how would that taste?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just plain old meat. So what if we don't get celebrity meat?
You just get
But we'll just
cow
get-
meat, I don't
know what you call it, created meat, lab grown meat.
Yeah.
Would you try that?
Test tube meat. Yeah, I would try it.
All right.
I would.
So kimchi, test tube meat, bone marrow ice cream, and miracle berries. That's what they were called.
Yeah, miracle berries, but there's also that the ice cream with like the bugs in it too. We talked about that before.
Yes. Yeah. Where do you get that at though? Everything
Probably
else,
saying.
well, I don't know where you get test tube meat from. I'm acting like I'll go get test tube meat.
I'll just run down a
Just pull over up the Acme here. And,
That's no problem. I got that shit every day. It's right in the Diddy section.
Diddy aisle 4.
You know, the 5 for 20, and then the Diddy.
I like it. Let's see, we're getting close. We'll end it with the North Carolina Walmart toe sucker. There was a guy going through Walmarts, different Walmarts in North Carolina, and he was going around telling people that he was a podiatry student, and he wanted women to try on different shoes for him. So he was doing a study, for his class. He said, "Do you mind if I just try on different shoes for you?" And he had like a badge and everything. And so some women would be like, "Okay." So he'd be down putting a shoe on them, and he would just shove their toes in his mouth. So it's like, just like, just going to town on their feet. He said he was conducting a survey. His thing was he was conducting a survey on how shoes fit feet on different nationalities. So he was getting all these different kinds of women. I guess when he found the right one, and then he'd freak out and he'd run out and head to a different Walmart and pull the same thing, and just more toes in the mouth.
They catch him.
They finally caught him. He was doing this for a couple days. I think this was like going on since last week, and they just caught. I think they caught him yesterday, maybe, but recently they caught the Walmart toe sucker.
Man, so a whole week you got away with it.
Yeah, so you can feel safe again. Anyone in North Carolina that wanted to buy shoes and needed help trying them on,
Your worries are over.
your worries are over. Okay, well here we are. So that'll do it for this show. Remember to follow us on YouTube, subscribe, The Commute Podcast. Check out our website, tocommute.com, TWO commute.com. Check us out on Facebook, The Commute, or send us an email at thecommutepodcast@comcast.net. Let us know anything you want to talk about. We'll bring it up.
Yeah,
Thank
send
you.
us ideas.